In this session, we are going to understand the concept of industrial disputes, causes of industrial disputes, and outcomes of industrial disputes, and the dispute settlement mechanism. Let us try to understand what is industrial dispute. As per Section 2K of Industrial Disputes Act 1947, an industrial dispute is any dispute or difference between employees and employers, between employers and workmen, which is connected with the employment or non-employment or the terms of employment or with the conditions of work of any person. So as per the Industrial Disputes Act Section 2K, industrial dispute is any dispute or difference that happens between employees and employers or employers and workmen. So this dispute or difference should be purely related to employment or the terms that are related to employment or sometimes non-employment or any working conditions are related to any conditions at the workplace. So industrial disputes have to be handled carefully, otherwise they may create numerous problems in the organization. That is the reason why Industrial Disputes Act is perfectly implemented or perfectly designed to handle these problems in a proper manner. So we can say dispute is any dispute or any difference between employees and employers and employers and workmen that is connected to the employment or non-employment or related to the conditions of work. Let us try to understand what are different causes of industrial disputes. So industrial disputes happen due to different causes or reasons. The following list will give various reasons for industrial disputes. First one, demand for pay and benefits hike. Second one, demand for hygienic and safer working conditions. Third one, demand for better labor welfare and social security measures. Fourth one, demand for recognition and appreciation. Fifth one, demand for justice for an individual or a group of employees. Next one man, one upmanship among unions, external influences, and unfair labor practices. These are all different causes of industrial disputes. Let us see one by one. First one is demand for pay and benefits hike. Generally, the differences will come between the employer and workmen due to the demands from the workers to increase the pay or the provision of benefits due to the cost of living and due to the changes in the lifestyle and due to the expectations of the people, the employees or workmen will try to do negotiations every time or try to demand the management to increase in the pay and benefits. Generally, when it comes to the issues related to financial matters or the terms related to money will definitely bring a difference of opinion between employer and employee. That is the reason why demand for pay and benefits hike is one big reason why disputes do happen. So when the demand for increase in the salary is there, the workmen may not bother about the financial viability or financial situation of the organizations. The second cause of industrial dispute is people try to fight for providing hygienic and safer working conditions. So as we study in labor legislation, different industries will have different types of working conditions. And hygienic working conditions are expected by the employees for the health and the safety, and at the same time to give more productivity. So, and as per the statutory norms also, or as per the Factories Act also, it is the duty of employer to provide good hygienic conditions and good safety provisions in the organization. So no employee works at the workplace with risk association. That is the reason why the organizations have to provide hygienic and safer working conditions for the workmen, which will bring satisfaction. So employees may demand, or workmen, they may demand for hygienic and good working conditions. So they may expect good ventilation, proper heating and temperature, and all other statutory norms are implemented, everything. So this is another reason why disputes do happen in the organization. Third one is demand for better labor welfare and social security measures. The employees, they always insist on the welfare part of the employees, and they demand the social security measures to be implemented, and they expect housing, education, recreation, canteen, restrooms. All these things are minimum expected from the employees, whether they are statutory or non-statutory. It is always expected from the workmen that the organization should take care of them. In such a case, about these social securities and the minimum welfare provisions, the unions may fight with the management. So another reason for industrial dispute is demand for better labor welfare and social security. Fourth one is demand for recognition and appreciation. So in demand for recognition and appreciation, not all people will try to work for incentives, will try to work for bonus, will try to work for allowances and other things. There are people who want the appreciation on the work completed, or they want freedom of expression, or we call it as self-expression. They want recognition when they are working in the organization. When the management is appreciating and recognizing the efforts of employees, definitely it is going to improve the morale of the employees. When this type of culture is not prevailing in the organization, people may not work in the organization for a long time. So, demand for recognition and appreciation is also very much required, uh, is very much there in the organization. So another reason for industrial dispute is demand for recognition and appreciation. Next one is demand for justice for an individual or a group of employees. So trade unions will always fight with the employees for protecting the rights of individuals. So when it comes to taking certain decisions in the employment by the employer, definitely the dispute may arise. Let us take when the organization is going for mass layoff, mass retrenchment, or dismissing the employees. And when these type of things are done, whether layoffs or terminations or removing the employees on the grounds of discipline, definitely it is a matter of lives of employees and their families. That is the reason why some indifference definitely comes between employer and employees. So when these type of things do happen, organization has government has clearly enacted ID Act, Industrial Disputes Act, to take care of these type of retrenchments or layoffs at a mass state. So people may fight in the case of retrenchment or termination or layoffs. So the people may fight with the organization. This is another reason for industrial disputes. Next one is one-upmanship among the unions. One-upmanship among the unions. People will try to prove themselves, and people will try to showcase themselves as credible and reliable, and they will try to spread negative attitude towards the management. And in the unions and the members, they will be trying to project themselves as believable, and at the same time they will try to project the management as negative. So rivalries do happen. When rivalries are happening in trade unions or among the employees, that is going to create another problem in the organizations. So this is another reason why industrial disputes do happen. Next one is external facilities, external influences. So external influences means the allowance of political parties, leaders, and political party ideologies into the unions, and the people from outside, they are influencing the trade unions. Definitely, they are going to create problem in the organization. The reason is trade unions should fight for their employees, and the leaders should be from themselves. But in fact, the ideology of political party is going to play a crucial role in causing the dispute. And this ideology may be different on the basis of a party that is existing. So in such a case, it may cause industrial disputes. That is the reason why no political party ideology should be allowed in the form of leadership or in the form of beliefs into the trade unions. When they are coming inside, the organizational interests or interests of employees are definitely lost. That will be turning out to be a different issue because of this external influence. The industrial disputes may happen due to unfair labor practices. When the employer is practicing foul practices or unfair labor practices, whether it may be in terms of working conditions, whether it may be in terms of implementing the laws, or whether it may be related to uh, retrenchment of employees, or whether it may be related to any other thing. When the organization or the employer is not following the law, and he is following the foul practices or unfair practices, that is definitely going to be causing industrial dispute. So these are all different reasons for industrial disputes. Disputes do happen because of pay and benefits. They may happen because for hygienic and safer working conditions, or they may be disputes may be happening because of labor welfare and social security measures expectation, or else the employees may demand recognition and appreciation, or there may be a demand for justice for the individual or a group of employees as per the law, or else one-upmanship among the employees, external influences, and unfair labor practices. After understanding the reasons for industrial disputes, we should understand what are the outcomes of industrial disputes. So before understanding that, now try to see the last one. Some examples of unfair labor practices. Threatening the workmen with discharge if they join in any trade union. It means they are trying to suppress the trade unions, or else they may threaten that company will go for lockout or closure if a trade union is organized. That means if the trade union is formed, the company may threaten, it may go for closure or lockdown, or else granting wage increases to workmen at the crucial periods of trade union organization. So when the trade unions are deciding to do an issue about the wage increase, then doing that so that they will suppress the efforts of the trade union, or else they will try to interfere into the issues of the trade unions or employees. Means by they will try to dominate the trade unions or employees. All these are different foul practices or unfair labor practices that are not expected, or that should not be, they should not be supposed to do. So the employer should be fair in dealing with the employees. Employees also should be transparent and fair in supporting their employers. Then only the disputes part is almost zero. Otherwise, when there is no trust and reliability, definitely disputes may arise. Let us try to understand what are the outcomes of disputes. Definitely, disputes will give some outcomes. Some of following outcomes. So disputes have the following outcomes. One is strikes, picketing, get out, lockout. So lockout is the last resort that any employer can do. Let us try to understand all these four outcomes in detail. Strike, picketing, geraus, and lockout. Let us see the first one, a strike. What is a strike? Strike is a cessation of work by a body of persons employed in any industry, acting in combination, or a concerted refusal, or a refusal under a common understanding of any number of persons who are or have been so employed to continue to work to accept the employment. So when strike is happening, it is defined as a cessation of work by a body of persons, okay, employed in the industry, and they will try to refuse in combination to do the work under a common understanding. So there may be any number of people employed in the workplace. They all together, they get a common understanding to refuse or to stop the work at the workplace. That it is considered as a strike. So common understanding, and a group of people or a body of people employed in the industry will try to stop working, or will try to stop accepting the employment, or will try to refuse to do the work. That is defined as strike. There are different types of strikes that happen in the organization. These are all different strikes. One is general strike, pen down strike, tools down strike, work to rule strike, go slow, wildcat, and sympathy. Let us see these strikes one by one. General strike. General strike is a strike that is conducted on a large scale basis, and we can consider it as a mass strike, and moreover, this strike has a significant influence on the employer due to the number of people who are participating in the strike. And these strikes are meant for protecting the common interests of the individuals, and they're trying to protect the common goals of the individuals. And these general strikes are conducted on a large level basis or national basis. And moreover, they are not intending uh, to strike against a particular employer. So this may be for the entire industry, or it may be for entire country. Like that, general strikes may happen. Next strike is pen down, tools down, or sit-in. These three are three common: pen down, tools down, and sit-in. In this type of strike, people come to office and they will remain silent. They will remain idle. So in this type of strikes, people come to office, report to office, but they do not work by they will be being idle. And once the timings are over, immediately they will leave the workplace. And this pen down, tools down, and sit-in strikes, they may happen sometimes spontaneously on the basis of urgency of the situation. So this is another type of strikes: pen down, tools down, or sit-in. Next type of strike is wildcat strike. So wildcat strike is a type of strike without any prior information or without any proper authority. The unions, they resort to strike. That's it is called as wildcat. So unions may resort to wildcat strike to pressurize the employer about their certain demands. Wildcat strikes are strictly illegal and they are not at all accepted. If the employees are booked under wildcat strike issue, they are not they can be booked under legal aspects also. So it is illegal or it is not accepted as per law to resort to wildcat strike. Next type of strike is go slow and work to rules. So people under this type of go slow strike, they will try to stick on in work to rules strike. They will try to stick on only to rules. Beyond rules, they will not work. So only as per the rules that are given, they will work. So when people are working only with work to rules, sometimes the wages may the revenue may also be affected. When people are doing go slow strike, they intentionally reduce the productivity. So as per the standard timing, this much of output to be given by the worker. But when people are doing this, they will intentionally slow down the productivity. So that's the reason why go slow strike or slow down strike is also very dangerous. When it comes to Japan people, they will try to increase the production when they are on strike. Now, when you are producing excessive, the employer does not know what to do. That will create a huge loss for the employer because of the production. When there is no demand, it is of no use to produce. So Japanese people, they will go for excessive production. when they are on strike. So work to rule strike is one type of strike, and go slow is another type of strike. Next one is sick leave strike and mass casual leave strike. Under this strike, people will go for putting sick leaves or casual leaves on a mass basis or a huge basis. Now, when so many people are putting sick leaves and mass casual leaves, the regular work will be disturbed, and the actual work to be done may also not be compensated. That will have impact on the productivity and revenue. The purpose of this mass casual or sick leave is to achieve, to see that their demands are fulfilled. So the employer has to be very, very careful when this type of mass casual leaves are happening. So it is a symptom of future severity of the strikes. This is another strike. Next one is hunger strike. So hunger strike simply says that the employees undertake fasting by abstaining from both food and work as a means of protest. So the anyhow in any strike, employers will try to stop working, will try to resist working. But in hunger strike, the people who are on strike, they will be on fasting. They will not eat anything. And when people are not eat anything, definitely it is going to create health disorders to the individual. Over a period of time, it may cause the death of the individual also if properly not taken. That's the reason why these hunger strikes are taken on a serious note, and governments will pay more attention to this type of hunger strike. Last one is sympathy strike. So sympathy strike is like, the purpose of sympathy strike is to give solidarity or express sympathy with another group who are doing the strike, or who belong to other unions who are on the strike. So this group of employees or unions will try to express their sympathy and solidarity for other unions who are doing the strike. So when other unions are also joining the union which is on strike, now the strength of these unions will become much more. And when the strength of the union is becoming much more, they may resort to different things. So this is another type of strike, sympathy. So altogether, so we have a general strike, pen down, tools down, sit in, strike, work to rules, go slow strike, wildcat strike, sympathy strike, hunger strike, and mass casual leaves and sick leave strike. So this is one outcome of dispute, the aspect of strike. The second one is picketing. In picketing, the individuals who are doing the protest, they will stand nearby the gate, and they will try to prevent or dissuade the employees who are going to do the work. Means the people who are doing strike, or the individuals who are on strike, they will try to dissuade or divert the individuals who are attending the work. Now, they will stand at the factory gate, and they will try to persuade the people not to work, who are interested in doing the work. And they will try to also make people who are interested in doing work, or people who want to do work, they will be sent away by not doing the work. The main intention of picketing is only one, 100% stoppage of the production at any cost. So picketing is another type of outcome that causes happens because of disputes. Third one is Gherao. Gherao is some sort of protest where the individuals encircle the top level management and they will stop their movement. And this is strictly not accepted form where the employees will try to encircle the top level management and they will try to restrict the movement of the managers. They will try to form a blockade and they will try to get their demands solved with this type of resort. So this is a wrongful confinement or wrongful aspect as per the law. So you cannot get out the top level management for the things that you want to get done. So it is legally not accepted. This is another outcome of dispute. The last outcome is lockout. Lockout is a situation where employer decides to close down or shut down the company if the protest is continued for a long time. So in a lockout, the employer closes the workplace with the aim of preventing the employees from entering the factory premises and performing the job. So employers will try to close down the production temporarily and locks the gate where the employees cannot get inside. The gates are locked and the production is closed. So we can say lockout is a temporary closing of a place of employment or suspension of work. So it may be temporary closing of employment or suspension of work or the refusal by an employer to continue to employ any number of employees. He decides to stop taking the employees into the organization, or else he may decide to stop the production, or he decides he closes the factory. This is the last resort that any employer can take when the strike's severity is high or when he is unable to handle the strike or the strike is continued for a long time. So these are all four outcomes of disputes. One is strike, second one is picketing, third one is get out, fourth one is lockout.